Hello, welcome to another episode of Faith Friday series initiated by the MGOCSM and OCYM of St. Thomas Orthodox Cathedral, Chennai. In the previous episodes of Faith Friday, you would have seen the history of the Malankara Church before the establishment of the Catholicate. In today's episode, you're going to see the history of the Malankara Church after the establishment of the Catholicate. If you haven't watched the previous episodes, the link for the videos is mentioned in the description box below. On September 17, 1912, Patriarch Abdul Mashar re-established the Catholicate of Malankara Church with the assistance of Malankara Metropolitan Mar Dionysius at St. Mary's Orthodox Church, Niranam. Paulos Mar Ivanios, with the title Moran Mar Basilios Paulos, was declared as the Catholicos of the East and rightful for the throne of St. Thomas in India. After this, the Patriarch returned to Jerusalem, and 2 years later, on August 30, 1915, the Patriarch departed from this world to his heavenly abode. During this time, the Canaanites were part of the Malankara Church under the Archdeacons and later Malankara Metropolitans till 1910, until Patriarch Mar Abdullah, who created division in the church in 1911. Mar Abdullah created a new diocese for the Canaanites with an independent status within the Malankara hierarchy and consecrated a Canaanite Metropolitan Mar Saverius, who executed a bond of loyalty to the Patriarch as on August 31, 1911. Since then, the Canaanite community were considered a separate group under the Patriarch and their headquarters in Chingavanam. The Canaanites stayed with the Patriarch party since its formation in 1911 until the reconciliation of 1958. In 1913, both the parties claimed interest on the trust fund deposited with the British government. Both the factions approached the court for final decision of the trust fund. The district court judge gave the verdict on 15 September 1919 that the excommunication of Mar Dionysius was invalid and that Mar Dionysius and his co-trustees were lawful trustees of the church properties, and also said that the Patriarch only had power of general supervision over the spiritual government of the church but had no right to interfere with the internal administration of the church. On the judgment, the Patriarch party preferred an appeal to the High Court in 1920. Thus, after a struggle of 15 years in the lower courts, it was finally decided that the excommunication of Mar Dionysius had no legal validity and that he was the competent metropolitan trustee to draw the interest on trust fund. Vatasharil Mar Dionysius was prepared to step down if that would ensure peace in the church, but never accepted to compromise on the autonomy of the church. He decided to set out to Syria on June 23, 1923, to plead with the Patriarch Mar Elias III not to destroy the church but maintain its autonomy. Patriarch Mar Elias had succeeded Mar Abdul Mashar on February 2, 1917. 67 days the Metropolitan stayed with the Patriarch at his headquarters at Mardin and held long discussions. At long last, the Patriarch agreed to cancel the excommunication on Mar Dionysius. Accordingly, Patriarch handed over an order cancelling the excommunication of Mar Dionysius to Mar Julius, Metropolitan of the Church of Syria, to Malankara Church, with instruction to announce it in Malankara on their return. Mar Dionysius and Mar Julius returned to Malankara in October. Mar Julius, unfortunately, did not formally announce the Patriarch's order, reappealing the excommunication of the advice of his party colleagues. Mar Dionysius was greatly disappointed at this betrayal. The first Catholicos, Mar Basilios Paulos, was 84th in the line of succession to the throne of Catholicos of the East, which originated in Persia. Installed on September 1912, Mar Paulos remained in the position of 1 year and 7.5 months only, and on May 2, 1914, he expired. The Catholicate, which thus fell vacant, was not filled for the next 11 years till 1925. The reasons for not raising the second Catholicos may be attributed mainly to the lawsuits on trust fund which existed from 1913 to 1928, pending in the court, and a desire to settle the issues with the Patriarch which ensured the excommunication. In these circumstances, Malankara Association was called on May 1, 1925 at Niranam Church, and the church proceeded with the installation of the second Catholicos. Bhagatanam Givargis Mar Felixinos, Metropolitan of Kottayam Diocese, was the choice. It is said that the choice was made by lot. On May 2, 1925, Mar Dionysius and Mar Gregorius together raised Mar Philoxenos as Catholicos with the title of Basilius Georgis I at St. Mary's Church, Neranum. After a short period of 3 years, the Catholicos passed away on December 17, 1928. The title of Catholicos next fell on Georgis Mar Gregorius, Metropolitan of Neranum and Tombaron. Mar Gregorius was installed by Mar Dionysius, assisted by Mar Ivanios of Bethany, as the third Catholicos with the title Basilius Mar Georgis II at Mar Elia Chapel, Kottayam. Two moves loomed before Mar Dionysius by mid-1930. Both were developing in the background for some time. Sensing the approaching events, Mar Dionysius convened the Malankara Association to fight the forces trying to weaken the church. Mar Ivanios, Metropolitan of Bethany, was by that time rumored to embrace Roman Catholic system. The other was impending visit of Patriarch Moran Mar Elias III. Well educated and competent, Mar Ivanios of Bethany was a promising Metropolitan of the church. At the same time, he transacted correspondence with the Roman Catholic Church with the idea of uniting with them. In 1926, Mar Ivanios had sent a memorandum to Rome which proposed a union of the Malankara Church with the Catholic Church. Mar Ivanios was made the Archbishop Metropolitan of the new community with the residence at Trivandrum and Mar Theophilos the Bishop of Tirupalla. Later, through the Apostolic Constitution, Pope Pius XI constituted a special hierarchy on 11 June 1932 with an ecclesiastical province for the reunited Syro-Malankara group. This was how a new church was formed called Syro-Malabar or the Syro-Malankara Church. Patriarch's visit to India was one of the most important occasions during that time. The church continued to witness scenes of significant episodes, adding to its turmoil in the year 1931 with the arrival of Patriarch Ignatius Elias III. The Patriarch came on a visit consequent of two contradictory moves which emanated from two different sources. One was the peace move initiated by Lord Irwin, Viceroy of India. The other was an invitation from Mar Julius and his metropolitans. On March 20, 1931, Patriarch arrived at Alway and stayed at a seminary in Trukkanathu. Mar Dionysius held discussions with the Patriarch on March 23rd. The talks did not yield a result since the Patriarch did not concede a Catholicate for Malankara nor recognize the installation of the Catholicos by the Patriarch Mar Abdul Mashia. Peace could not be realized in the church. Last Malankara Association held by Mar Dionysius was on 1931 at MD Seminary, Kottayam, following which Mar Dionysius drew the interest on trust fund for the last 19 years from 1912 to 1931 from the Imperial Bank, Trivandrum. The amount was Rs 16,000 approximately. This was objected by a Patriarch Mar Elias to the British political agent, who however overruled it in the light of court decisions. The Patriarch was hosted by Mar Julius and other parishes which supported him at Malankara Mar Stephanos Church. The Patriarch breathed his last due to the heart failure on February 13, 1932 and was buried there. The church needed a basically strong administrative structure, a regulatory system interlinking the roles of Malankara Metropolitan, Catholicos, Synod and the Malankara Syrian Christian Association, the Managing Committee, the Diocesan Council, the primary parish general body and its Managing Committee, and above all, a statute to uphold the historic stature of the Church and its Orthodox faith. In short, Mar Dionysius called for a framing of constitution for the Church, ensuring its purity, holiness, autonomy and autocephaly. The committee authorized a subcommittee with O.M. Cherian as a convener to draft a constitution for the Church. The Metropolitan on June 22, 1932, published its own draft under the title Views on the Constitution of Malankara Church in Kerala Kesari, a daily published from Kottayam. The committee members had discussed fundamental issues with him in several rounds. The constitution could not, however, be finalized during his lifetime. The Metropolitan was aware that his health was failing him before it reached a critical stage. He, as a Malankara Metropolitan and trustee of the church properties, prepared a comprehensive will in 1933 entrusting the properties of the church to the care of the Synod of the Church. A year later, on February 23, 1934, after an eventful 76 years, the life of the dynamic personality ebbed out. The Venerable Metropolitan was suffering from blood pressure for some time. On Friday, the 16th February at 9:30 am, Ma Dionysius had a stroke and was laid up. Power of speech was lost but not the faculty of memory. After being in this condition for a week, Ma Dionysius expired on Friday, the 23rd February at 12:30 pm. With all honor, Metropolitan was buried beside the old seminary chapel at Kottayam. In honor of this unique and distinguished leadership, the Vattashel Georgis Ma Dionysius was conferred the title of Malankara Sabha Basuran, meaning the son of the Malankara Church. To conclude, Ma Dionysius was the architect of the modern Malankara Orthodox Church after the implementation of the Constitution in 1934. The more incidents about the history will be shown in the next video. Please like and share this video, and if you want to get more knowledge about history, please subscribe to the Broadway MGOCSM YouTube channel. Thank you.